Okay, well, we're ready to start the meeting.
Okay.
We're calling the Sycamore Township Zoning Appeal remote meeting Wednesday, September the 17th. You want to call the roll?
I'm not quite sure who's here.
Well, call and see if they answer.
Mr. Tenite?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Luger?
Here.
Mr. Heidel?
Here. Here.
Mr. Heidel?
Here.
I see his square, but I don't hear him.
I'm here.
We hear him.
I'm here. You see, you got me?
I see you. I got you. Okay. Miss Hughes?
Here I am.
All right. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands,
one nation, under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next is the approval of minutes from November 16th, 2020.
Sir, Mr. Luger?
Yes.
Also in attendance, we have a new board member, our alternate, Mr. Michael Schwartz.
Yes.
So I just wanted to take a moment and note for the record that he is present and to welcome him to the board.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay. Then we need to put them in attendance. What about the meeting notes? Any discussion on it?
I have none.
No.
Okay, so somebody want to give me a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All right, Mr. Schultz, can you call the roll? Mr. Heidel?
Here.
Do you want to prove that?
Here.
Mr. Schultz? Mr. Tenek?
Here.
We want.
Yes, I approve the minute. Yes.
Miss Hughes?
Approve.
And I approve it also. Okay. Next, we need approval of electronic signature. Somebody want to make a motion on that?
Also move we approve the electronic signatures.
I will second that.
Yeah.
Mr. Schultz, can you hear us yet? All right.
Connecting back in.
All right, Mr. Heidel, yes or no?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Schultz, do you vote yes on approving electronic signatures? All right, Mr. Tennant?
Yes.
Miss Hughes?
Yes.
And Mr. Luger says yes. Okay. Next is old business.
Oh Lord.
Michael, we've never had I'd like you to know this is unusual.
Yes.
Okay, old business. What's the status on our old business?
That case is still pending a potential settlement by consent decree. So we will not be hearing most likely we'll not be hearing that case, and it should be off our agenda here soon. But until we do have settlement agreement, it has to remain on there.
Okay. New business. SYCB 200001.
All right, let me get a shared screen here real quick. All right, can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, case SYCB 210001, address is 8814 Round Hill Road. Request is for a variance. Applicant is, excuse me if I say this wrong, but Dan Holler. Parcel PIN 060000910249. Current zoning is B, single family residential. Zoning compliance issue is to table 4-6 lot area, lot width, yard requirements in the residential district. Requirements are 35 feet rear yard setback. The request is for construction of a 486 square foot addition encroaching into the rear yard setback. Applicant is asking for a 22.7 feet setback where a 35 feet setback is required. Okay, I'd always like to show the parcel. To show you, this is where that basically their land is. As you can see, it's kind of odd shaped. Off the back of the house here is where they want to do the covered porch, is basically what they want to do. Okay, here's plans of it. Right here, as you can see the garage, and then right next to the garage is where they want to put this very nice covered porch, as you can see here. Also, the roof of this porch you will not be able to see from the front of the house. It will just basically go to right, basically with the other roof of the home. So this will not be able to be seen from the front of the home. Okay, here's another shot basically of the land where the house sits. Right here, where as you can see, is where the porch is going to go. As you can see, and then they're asking for that 22.7 setback that they need since 35 is not available after they build this porch. Here's a shot, excuse me. Here's a shot of the front of the house from the street. Basically is a T, not really a cul-de-sac, but it is a T. Then here's the back of the house. Basically right here in this area, you guys can see my cursor here. This is where the porch is going to go. Basically right with the side of the house here. You can see this is where the porch is going to go out to here. And the top of the, as I said, the top of the roof will only go to the top of this roof. You will not be able to see it from the front of the house. Then here's a shot basically of the side of the yard from the driveway. Now I want to show you where this picture ends is where the applicant, basically the owners of the home have told me where the end of the porch is going to go, right where the end of this picture is. So it'll come off the house, come out that far, and it will end right here. They also have just a little bit of a patio over on this side, but the porch will only be covered from the side of the house here out to there, and then over to the driveway here, and that will be as far as it goes. And then here's a shot from the backyard showing you that basically from here down, here down, will be where that porch is, right in this area here. So the applicant is asking for a rear yard variance of 12 feet to build a covered patio that is attached to the rear of the existing structure. The proposed addition will be 18 feet wide, 14 feet by 6 inches high, by 27 feet deep towards the rear property line. Rear property setback is 35 feet, and they will be encroaching by 12 feet. The property at 8814 Round Hill is in a cul-de-sac T and is in a regular shaped lot as well. That's basically all I have. I'll go ahead and open up questions to the staff. If you'd like to ask us anything.
Kevin, could you go back to one of the first renderings you showed?
Sure. Which one would you like?
The architectural. Oh,
Architectural. Okay.
yeah. Just wanted to look at that real.
Take a look at it.
I can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can talk about this in a little more detail. The porch
Okay.
patio, it is at grade. The reason this is defined as an addition is because of the roof line being extended.
Who is speaking?
Any roof or any structure that's covered by roof attached to the building is going to be defined as an addition and is going to be subject to the same setback as the principal structure.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not a fully enclosed room. You can see that it has there's essentially a short wall on the longer sides, and at the very end you have a fireplace structure that goes up to the roof structure, as well as another side short wall. So it is open air, but it is considered an addition to the house.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the staff or from the board?
No.
No.
Okay. Next, let's hear from the applicant if they want to speak.
Yeah, this is John Finkler, and I guess I just started off by saying I appreciate the committee's consideration in the variance. Chelsea and I, along with Mr. Haller, have put a lot of time and effort into the actual designs, and I hope it shows there with what you're looking at with the plans. The two main reasons that we would like this variance and we would like to put this outdoor living space on is one of the pictures that Kevin showed. There's a pretty sizable maple tree in the backyard, and that tree, we've been told by a certified arborist, Aaron and Dave Stang, Tree Care, that tree is in the process of dying, unfortunately. We've been instructed that we should probably take the arm of the tree that is leaning towards the house. We should probably remove that in very short order. And then the rest of the tree is in the process of dying and probably only has a year or so left. So we have two young children, ages 4 and 2. We are outside all of the time. And so when we hear a tree is getting to the point of structurally dangerous, it's in our best interest to get that down as soon as possible. The unfortunate part is that tree provides the shade for our entire backyard. So once we lose that tree, we will no longer have any shade in the rear of our house. Starts about noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon is when the sun begins to just beat on the back of our house. And so an enclosed structure, this roof structure, will provide us the opportunity to still be outside, but also have some relief from the sun. The second reason that we would really like to put this on is just for a little bit more privacy in our backyard. As you can see, the existing patio is very open. We're open to the elements. And so it would just provide us a little bit more privacy from our neighbors. And in addition, provides our neighbors so they don't have to constantly look at us and our kids running around the backyard all the time. So it provides them a little bit more privacy for themselves. Anything else to add?
No, I think he said that well. Again, we appreciate you guys giving us the consideration here. And I echo what John said. The two main factors are the loss of our shade. We do have a little redhead. He gets sunburnt like this. So we're concerned for him. And overall, just to be able to continue to enjoy the home that we're in. We bought our forever home. We're staying here forever. And we'd love to be able to do this sooner as opposed to later, so that we can enjoy more time outside as a family.
That's it from us. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Let me interject here for a minute. Mr. Heidel, I think we need to still swear people in.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You've got me or you don't have me?
No, we didn't swear we didn't swear anybody in.
Oh, not Heidel. I'm sorry, Mr. Lugers. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong window.
Okay. We need anybody who's going to give testimony in this case. We need you to swear. I state your name. Do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The answer is I do.
I do.
I need the Finklers.
I do.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Oh, okay. All right, let's continue. Are there any questions from the board of the Finklers?
I have none.
No, I have none
No.
either.
Mr. and Mrs. Finkler, if you don't mind, just reaffirm that the statements that you gave are true to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, the statements that I just gave concerning the tree, our concern for the tree, concerning the privacy is to the best of my knowledge.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right. One of your neighbors has said something about a privacy fence. Do you have any problems with that?
Yes, we actually spoke with one of our neighbors about that when we proactively wanted to have discussions with our neighbors to let them know what was going on and the reason for the zoning meeting, the note or the sign that was in our front yard. And she did provide us with some concerns and some desires as it relates to a privacy fence. We informed her that part of our plan for this addition would encompass, we too want privacy. It's one of the reasons we want to do this addition, because as you could see, our patio is in open air right now. Part of our plans are to have our landscaper to come out and assist in finding the best means to provide more privacy between the two lots where they sit at the back of our home. Our vision for the privacy is a little bit more on the landscaping side with trees like arborvitae or taller pines. I know our neighbors on each of our sides have put in great landscaping that provides them privacy from other neighbors as well. And we would likely want to mirror or mimic something similar to that as compared to installing a privacy fence.
Well, one of the things, a variance is you're asking for us to change what the zoning laws are. You're asking for an exception to the zoning laws. And one of the things that we look at is landscaping to buffer an encroachment like you're doing. And if it's not part of the plan, then we can't consider it. So if we're going to do something, you have not submitted, as far as I can see, there's no landscaping plan. Is that correct?
That's correct. At this moment, we've had discussions with our landscaper, but they are not part of the plans that you are looking at this moment.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have questions on them?
I'll interject here just for a second. In lieu of a submitted landscape plan, the board could stipulate a general landscaping condition that meets a certain percentage capacity, or certain tree density.
Okay. All right.
If I may add, am I able to add to that? The reason we're going down the landscaping route as our choice for privacy is we do believe it will provide more privacy than a fence. The fence can only be 6 feet high versus landscaping. If we're doing it with our landscaper, we could select trees or bushes that could provide even more privacy between the two properties.
Okay. All right. So anybody from the board have any additional questions?
No, I think she just answered my question.
Okay. Then next we're going to open it up to the public. Is anybody from the public wish to comment?
Just in case we can't hear you, raise your hand. Okay.
Okay. Ed, can we try?
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yes.
All right. Ed and Nancy Frambes, Frambes for the record. 7447 Glenover. Our yard butts right up against the yard back here. We have a visual on their patio. And as far as we're concerned, I think it's great for them. We're all for it. We have no problems at all. They're good neighbors, and all these neighbors back here are good neighbors. So they got, for the record, they got our approval.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else?
We have somebody.
Okay.
Speak up, please.
Hi, I'm Liz Jernigan. I'm one of their next door neighbors. I live at 8815 Round Hill Road. And I just wanted to be here tonight. I'm also in full support of their proposed plans. We too have an irregular lot and went through similar opposition, or the homeowners before us went through similar opposition, trying to get their variance approved. We settled it with landscaping, and it has really turned out to be it was the selling point of us really moving into this house, is having that outdoor area to entertain. And the landscaping really did a great job. I know the Finklers have spent a lot of money on the landscaping in the front of their house. And I know that I have full confidence that they'll extend that around to the back when it comes time to do so. But to be honest, I've walked around their property. I've seen the plans in person. I think it will just be a beautiful addition, aesthetically, functionally.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment?
Yeah, Justin Kroll, 8831 Round Hill Road, 2 residences over from the Finkler residence. I also am in full support of this. As recent additions to the neighborhood, we moved in approximately 10 months ago. We're very encouraged that folks like the Finklers are still investing in their homes, improving the neighborhood. And as somebody that also has 2 young children, I certainly can appreciate the concern of the tree, the shade, and would fully support, anybody that's willing to continue to invest to beautify the neighborhood, keep it safer for other kids. So I would second what everybody has said and fully support this addition going in.
Thank you. Mr. Dennison, you want to go next?
Sure. My name's Steve Dennison, 8822 Round Hill. We're, I guess, the old guys in the cul-de-sac. And we think this is a great addition to this house. That we think that it can only enhance the value of all the homes around it. And if you look at this little cul-de-sac, I think just about every lot is an irregular lot. The guys before the Jernigans had to get a variance. When we put an addition on, we had to get a variance. They're all non-conforming. I don't think any of them, most any of them, ever had any. I know a couple of them were built conforming. So we are very much in favor of this, and I can attest to their little redhead getting sunburned. So we don't want that.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else? Okay, then we're going to close it to the public, and we're going to debate this among the board. Okay, is anybody on the board want to? Jeff, go ahead.
I'm perfectly okay with it. It sounds great. Looks good. I don't see a real problem.
Okay. I want to see landscaping with it.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very nice rendering. I can see it's a great addition to the house.
Hey,
I was going to say the same thing, Ted.
Skylar, we're not very good at defining the
Density.
buffering and landscaping. Can you help us out a bit here? To just
so I would.
Can we leave it up to you? And then if there's a dispute, bring it up to the next meeting.
Well, so tonight you have the opportunity to approve with conditions, or deny. While I appreciate your faith in me, I would I wouldn't want to leave it at the sole discretion of the zoning administrator. So I would say if you want to see landscaping, at least have a condition that says, 75% opacity, at some,
it's 6 feet.
At 6 feet or at 5 feet. Keep in mind, landscaping grows over time. So right. I wouldn't expect the applicants to put in, mature trees on day one. So whatever opacity you're putting in, you're putting in at time of planning or at time of final zoning approval. So even 50 to 75%, something like that. If you're talking about arborvitae or mixed vegetation, and then that's at least something that I can go out in the field and interpret.
Okay.
And make the call. Did they hit that, or do we need to add more planting? So,
okay.
If you want some assurance, a privacy fence, is, I realize that's not what the applicant wants, but that gives you 100% opacity at 6 feet. So, if you're allowing for landscaping, which makes sense, just make sure that you have some kind of allowance for future growth, because you're not going to get 100% opacity on day one. That doesn't give the plants any room to grow.
Got it. Okay. Mr. Finkler, do you want to say something?
Yeah, am I allowed to say something at this point?
No, but go ahead.
I apologize. I failed to add that there is existing landscaping already in the rear of the property that divides the property line between us and the people behind us. They're honeysuckle bushes, which quite honestly, we don't like, and we have all plans to change it, but there is something there already. It probably stands every bit of 8 foot tall that does, when filled out in the seat, not right now, when it does fill out, it does provide a nice barrier between us and the neighbor behind us.
We always give landscaping credits to existing vegetation.
Okay, thank you, Skylar.
Okay.
I'd like to add something then. Since they're honeysuckles, I'd recommend taking those out before you put anything else in, because they will kill whatever you put in.
That's precisely what we would do and what we've learned as well.
Okay. All right. What do you think about 50% at 5 feet?
Can I ask a question, Ted, there?
Yes.
So what I understood Skylar to say is it's opacity at the time of approval. Like it would be this summer would have 50% opacity, which over 3 years would probably be at least 75, if not greater. So,
right.
Okay.
Yes,
so I'd say that's, I was going to ask, I'm glad you brought it up, because to go 70 now might be over dense.
Right.
So I like the 50.
Okay.
To be filled out. I can tell you from a zoning commission case, for whatever reason, it was settled that there was going to be 100% opacity at time of final zoning approval and occupancy, and it's an impossible standard. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about a commercial property. It was tens of thousands of dollars of landscaping, and it truly didn't. They never hit 100%.
Right.
And the trees that they put in, because they were already touching and they weren't mature, half of them were going to die. And it was just creating this maintenance nightmare. Moving forward, so we had to make adjustments.
Okay, so do you think 50% at 5 feet is reasonable, Skylar?
That's certainly enforceable. Yes, sir.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
I've tried to make motions in the past. I always seem to stumble along with Skylar's help. But I so move that we would approve as the rendering shows with a vegetative screen at 50% opacity at a 5-foot height.
Okay. All right, let me type this out here for a minute. Instead of a vegetative screen, can I use the term landscaping buffer?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see. That would be along the. Are we going with the western property line?
Is that? I lost mine.
That's the rear yard line.
Yeah, rear yard line. It's west. It's kind of northwest. It looks, but
I'll just say rear
west. Rear property line. Yes.
Let's see.
Okay, we're looking for a second on that.
I'll second on that.
Go ahead.
So before we get a vote on this, I wanna finish the language here.
Okay, that's great.
I apologize.
Nope, that's great.
All right, here we go. So the condition will read, landscaping buffer along rear yard property line shall be installed that meets a minimum of 50% opacity at time of final zoning approval.
At 5 feet.
Oh, at 5 feet. Thank you. Measured at 5 feet above average grade.
Okay.
At time of final zoning approval. Okay.
Mr. Schultz, can you call the roll?
I think I can now. Mr. Tenight?
I approve.
Mr. Luger?
Yes.
Mr. Heidel?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Schultz, yes.
Okay. What do we need, Skylar, now?
So if that's your motion to move forward with variance, I do have a resolution you can adopt here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick screen share. And the motion you made probably covers this, but I just want to be on the safe side here. There you go. What are you guys seeing?
I can see it.
Are you seeing an extra wide screen or just the resolution?
Just the resolution.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so I have a resolution here approving request for variance. Here we're showing applicant Dan Holler has made an application for 8814 Round Hill. Is that road? Yes, it is Round Hill Road. Apologize. Okay. We have here that the approval for the application granted in this resolution is subject to the following. 1, landscaping buffer along rear yard property line shall be installed that meets a minimum of 50% opacity, measured at 5 feet above average grade at time of final zoning approval. The other conditions that are set are simply explaining the criteria for submittal to my office. So if we want to do a roll call on this, we can adopt the resolution, and Kevin and I can work with the applicant to get all proper zoning certificates and building permits issued.
Okay, Mr. Schultz, you want to call the roll?
Yes, I will. Mr. Tenight,
Yes.
Mr. Luger,
Yes.
Mr. Heidel,
Yes.
Ms. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Schultz, yes.
I did.
Okay.
All right, I'll get this typed up.
Okay.
All right.
Next is the date of the next meeting is Monday, March 15th at 6:30. Is there any miscellaneous communications and miscellaneous business?
Nope.
Oh, we cut out for a minute. Or was that me?
You.
Okay.
All right. Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
I second that.
Call the roll.
Mr. Tenight,
Yes.
Mr. Luger,
Yes.
Mr. Heidel,
Yes.
Ms. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Schultz, yes.
Thank you
All right,
very
before-
much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Before we cut out,
you.
the applicants are welcome to contact our office tomorrow, and we'll get the ball rolling on issuing a zoning certificate. Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
We really appreciate it,
very much.
everyone.
Thank
Have
you.
a great night.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
All right.